Good evening to one and all. Kindly give me a confirmation if you guys can see my screen and if you guys can hear me. Good evening to one and all. Kindly give me a confirmation if you guys can see my screen and can you guys hear me? Yes or no? Can you guys hear me? Can you guys see my screen? Yes or no? Perfect. Awesome. So, thank you so much, guys, for joining in. Welcome to day 6 of this boot camp, where we are trying to learn the deployment phase, how exactly we can deploy the machine learning model so that we can create an application along with that, right? So before going on, kindly give me a confirmation if you guys can see my screen clearly and if you guys can hear my voice, if I'm audible or not. Tell me. Yes or no? Am I audible? Yes or no? Come on. Okay, perfect. So far we have talked about Python, we have talked about machine learning, and we have also seen how to perform. We have taken types of we have seen the types of machine learning as well. And after that, we have also seen how to perform machine learning algorithm. So we have started with the linear regression machine learning algorithm, and we have first talked about a theoretical concept, how exactly linear regression works in backend. Then after that, we have talked. We have also seen the practical implementation of the machine learning model. Till here, we are done. Yes or no? Yes or no? Any doubts? Any doubts so far? Perfect. Now we are going to deploy our model. When we say deploy, that means we are currently having a model, right? We are going to create a web application, right? And we are going to connect our web application with the model, machine learning model. So now what we're going to happen is that if any user comes up, they can easily access this machine learning model. Okay. Apart from that, we are going to host this application live so that everyone can see this. Yes or no? Everyone can easily see your application. Doesn't matter where exactly that person is located, where exactly that person is sitting around the globe. Okay. So yesterday we have taken a data set, right? Where is it? Yeah. So yesterday we have importing the library. Yeah, we have taken a data set. We have talked about importing the libraries, how to do that. We have talked about how to import a data set. We have performed some analysis as well. And then when we are doing the machine learning, we have initializes the linear regression. Then we are distributing the features in one variable and a target in one variable, right? And we have to make sure the feature should follow the two dimension. Okay, should be having two dimension. Okay, now let's go. Yeah, so then we have divided our data set into two half, that is your training set and the testing set, right? Then we have started with the training part where we have fitted our model. We have given x train and y train. Okay, then after that, we have checked the value of intercept and a coefficient that our model has specified, right? Based on these values, intercept and coefficient, we can easily find out our target value, right? After that, we have also trained our model. We have also tested our model using the new values, and we have predicted the score that was coming as 98% approximately. Right now, if you see, if you want to provide the input, you can go ahead and provide the input in such manner. Now, what we are going to do is we are going to dump this model. When we say dump this model, we are going to use this model for a prediction, right? And we don't want that whenever user will going to come up and they want the let's say the user will going to provide a temperature, right? Our model will going to give them its value, that means its revenue, right? So now what happen is whenever user will going to come up, the entire code will going to start run over and over and over again, and then they will going to get the solution, right? In this case, what will going to happen is that it will going to require a lot of time as well. User has to wait until and unless all the code has been done. So what we do is we take this model and we dump this model, so that from now onwards we don't need to run the entire code over and over again. We just go to the model, give the value, and model will going to give us the prediction. Is this clear? Till here, is it clear? Yes or no? Till here, is this clear? Yes or no? Is it clear till here? Yes or no? How about others? How about others? Is this clear? Yes. So okay. So if you remember on day first, I was telling you that for analysis purpose, you can go ahead with the help of notebook, any kind of notebook. It might be Jupyter notebook. It might be your Google Colab. But now when we talk about the web application is a software. Web application is a software, and you cannot perform the software development in a notebook. So you need to have either an ideally the best IDE for Python. You can go ahead with PyCharm by JetBrains, or you can go up with the source code editor, that is your VS Code, that is powered by Microsoft. Okay, that has been provided by Microsoft. So either of them you can use for the software development. So now since we are done with our analysis and all the purpose, now we need to develop a software. So we are going to use our ideally, or you can say a source code editor, we are going to use VS Code. Okay, I'm not going to tell you how to install VS Code or PyCharm, so on and so forth. You can go on to internet and there is a lot of resources how you are going to install it. Right now, this is how my VS Code looks like. Can you see my VS Code? Kindly give me a confirmation if you guys can see my VS Code. Yes or no? Can you guys see my VS Code? Yes or no? Kindly give a confirmation, please, if you can see it. You guys can see that? Perfect. So over here you can see this is our ice cream data set that we have taken yesterday, right? So over here we have temperature and revenue, right? Then we have our machine learning notebook over here. Okay, this is a machine learning notebook that whatsoever analysis we have done yesterday. So I have brought my machine learning notebook inside this uh, VS Code, right? So now till here we have discussed till here, right? How the user, if user provide a manual output, let's say they want to find out what will be the revenue if the temperature is so on and so forth. So this is how you can predict out the value, right? Now what we need to do is that we need to dump our model. We need to dump our model so that our response will be very quick. And whenever user asks us about the revenue while giving up the value of a feature, we are not going to run the entire code. We are not going to run the entire code starting from the top, because it will going to take a lot of time. So what we are going to do, we use this command with open your model.pkl. This extension is very important. This is known as pickling. Okay, you can call this as pickling, you can call this as dumping, you can call this as a serialization. Okay, now you use with open and you have to name your pickle file. So over here model.pickle, so over here you can see I am having a model.pickle as file, and then you will going to use pickle.dump, then your model over here, the model that you have used, you will going to use the model and the file as the file. As soon as you're going to run this command, what is going to happen, automatically your pickle file will be generated and will going to be created on your left hand side. Is this clear? Is this clear? Is this clear, guys? Yes or no? Right, I hope you guys are clear that what exactly. Yes, you can use PyCharm. Yes, you can use PyCharm for this as well. So over here we are having three files. One is your data set, right? Another is your Jupyter notebook or Colab notebook, in which we have done the analysis yesterday, all this analysis, right? So I have brought this Jupyter notebook on my local. So over here it is. Now in order to create this model.pickle file, you will going to use this command, right? This command over here, you need to provide the name of your pickle file followed by the extension of pkl, right? Then you have to add a command as wb, that is your write in binary as a file, and then you have to use this pickle.dump model and files. This is your model, okay, that you have created. and this is your file that has been mentioned over here. Is this clear? Is this clear? How to, you just have to click on the data set and over here it will going to get open. See, okay, this is how you are going to open the data set. Till here, is it clear, guys? Yes or no? You can easily transport this. So over here you can see this is your collab file, right? If you want to bring this collab file over your local, you can click on this file. Over here there's a download option. Click on this download and click on this download ipynb. This is ipynb is your notebook extension. Click on this, it will going to get download on your local, then put your local file in your VS Code. Is this clear? Is this clear, everyone? Yes or no? Shall we continue with our deployment? Okay, I hope now you're clear how we are getting these three files, right? If your video is not clear, again and again I'm telling you, kindly change your resolution to your higher resolution, please. Okay. Okay, so now it is clear that how we are getting all these three files, right? Now one more thing is, whenever we do a deployment, we first create a virtual environment. Okay, with the help of virtual environment, then we start with any deployment. So any software that has been created, right, or if you're working in any organization, they always tell you to first create a virtual environment and then do your all your production work, right? So actually virtual environment is just a Python environment. Okay, it's just a Python environment, but it is isolated. It is different from those that is installed in your local system. Okay, so there is a one library known as virtual environment. Okay, if you want to create a virtual environment, you can install pip install virtual env. Since it has already been installed in my system, I'm going to create a virtual environment using the command virtual env, and then the name of my virtual environment. So I'm going to say venv. As soon as I'm going to hit enter, on the left hand side you will going to see a folder venv has been created. Okay, a folder venv has already been created. Okay, now I need to activate my environment so that I can start working on this. So in order to activate this environment, if you are working with Mac, right, so the command is source venv bin activate. As soon as you are going to click this, you will going to see this venv, the name of my virtual environment, is been shown up over here, right? Guys, I'll be sharing you all the links tomorrow. So kindly today focus on the session, please. Don't ask link over and over again. Okay, I will be sharing you all the material link tomorrow. Okay, yes, you can use the Conda environment as well. Yes, is this clear, people? Is this clear? Okay, perfect. So now if you are using Mac, this is the command to activate the virtual environment. If you are using Windows, then you have to go to the virtual environment, then the bin folder, and then there is an activate file. Then you have to do it with that. Right, the command is different for Windows, the command is different for Linux. Since I'm working on Mac, so this is the command, and as soon as I hit this, and how do I know that my virtual environment has been activated? You can see the name of my virtual environment has been shown on the left hand side, right? So this is our virtual environment. Now what is going to happen? Now whenever you start working, you have to install some packages, libraries that you will going to use, right? So I'm going to install some packages such as I'm going to install, because over here currently I don't have anything installed. If I show you pip freeze, this is a pip freeze, a command that tells you that what all different libraries, package, or frameworks has been installed in your system. So if you see, as soon as I ran pip freeze, nothing has been shown up. That means currently this is a fresh environment. This is a fresh virtual environment, and none of the packages has been installed. So I need to install packages. So I'm going to say pip install pandas. Okay, so as soon as I'm going to hit this pip install pandas, so pip pandas library is getting installed on my virtual environment. Okay, so let's wait for it to get it installed. And pandas comes handy. You can see as soon as you say install pandas, so numpy 6 or pytz, these are some of the packages and libraries that comes handy with pandas. So automatically while installing a pandas, all these libraries also get installed, right? So now if I try numpy, if I say numpy, right, So over here you can see it says that already requirement is already satisfied. That means NumPy has already been installed while I was installing pandas. Now I need to install one more package known as scikit-learn. Okay, scikit-learn is for machine learning, so I need to install this as well. See, I'm currently using Mac, so I'm telling you with respect to Mac, right? To explain you with different OS, I have to switch that. I have to switch to Windows, I have to switch to Linux. So currently I'm using Mac, so I'm telling you with respect to Mac how you can do it. Okay. Okay, so now you can see scikit-learn has already been installed. Now if I run pip freeze, pip freeze, now you can see it says that these are packages and libraries has been installed along with the version. So I'm having NumPy, and the version of NumPy that I'm going to use is 1.21.6. Okay, is this clear? Is this clear? Now since we are going to use Flask, so I need to install the Flask framework. So I'm going to say pip install Flask. So now as I'm going to run this, Flask framework will going to get installed on my system, right? So now you can see Flask is also installed. So now I can go on and start working with Flask, right? Okay, is this clear till here? Yes or no? Till here, is this clear? Yes or no? Till here, is this clear, everyone? Yes or no? Come on, guys, reply fast because we have to cover this in this session only. Okay, perfect. Now I'm going to create a Python file so that I can, start working. I can start creating the web application. So I'm going to create a file. Let's say, let me name this as main.py. Py is the extension for the Python file. Okay, so let me run this. So over here, you can see this is an empty file. This is a main.python file where we are going to write our entire backend. How exactly our model will going to work. Okay. First of all, I'm going to import a lot of packages that I'm going to use. First of all, I'm going to import pickle. I'm going to import the module pickle. So using the pickle, what I'm going to do, I'm going to use my model file. I'm going to use my model file over here. After that, I'm going to import Flask. So I'm going to say from Flask, import Flask. We are going to use the rendered underscore template function that will going to help us to process out the HTML file, okay, or the front end. Then I'm going to use a request function as well. So with the help of request, I can communicate with the server. Okay. So now one more thing, that in order to create a software, you should be having the knowledge of OOPS. You should be having the knowledge of object-oriented programming, guys. Is this clear? You should be having the knowledge of object-oriented programming in order to create an entire web application, okay, or any kind of software, right? In OOPS concept, it could be you need to understand about the concept of classes, need to understand about objects, methods, inheritance, polymorphism, abstraction, encapsulation, decorators, generators, what are render methods, what are abstract method and static method, and so on and so forth. So these are something, right? After that, you need to create an object for the class Flask. Okay, you need to create, let me write this over here, create an object of the class Flask. So I'm going to create an object for this class Flask. So I'm going to say app is equals to Flask, and over here you can see I'm already getting a suggestion, so I'm going to write this. So this how you're going to initiate an object. This how you can initiate an object. Is this clear? Is this clear? You cannot use online GDB compiler. You cannot use that. We are talking about making softwares, right? So you have to have a software installed on your local. You cannot work, on any kind of compiler or any kind of notebook. Is this clear? Is this clear? Perfect. Now you need to create an object. right? When you get understanding of a oops concept, then you will going to understand how exactly you do that. But over here, this is a variable, but this is a class. Flask over here is a class that we have installed, right? So now this app is known as the object. Okay. Now what we are going to do, we are going to create a variable in which we are going to deep pickle our model. Okay, so I'm going to say pickle. I'm going to say pickle, and there's a function known as pickle dot load. Okay, so I'm going to use load because I want to open this. I want to open this model file so that I can communicate with this, right? So I'm going to use open. There's a function open, and you can see over here model, my pickle file name. Over here it is model.pickle, so I have written model.pickle, and I want to read it. So that's why RB means read in binary, right? So I'm reading this file. I am reading this file. So this how you can load your model. So now if you want to interact with your model, you can easily interact with your model variable. Is this clear? Is this clear? Yes or no? Is this clear? Yes or no? Come on. Okay. Perfect. Now, whenever we talk about website, you see over here, whenever we are having a website, they always have some URLs. They always have some URLs, right? On that particular URLs, it will going to show us some other page, right? So in order to do so, now we are going to talk about URLs. So we should use the syntax as app.router slash. Over here, you can define your URL. Over here, you can define your URL, right? So now you need to use a function. So let's say the function name is index. Okay, this is the keyword that is used in Python to create a function. Okay, and this is a function name followed by colon. Over here I'm going to use return. That means if someone tries to hit on this endpoint, if someone tries to hit in this endpoint, let me tell you that suppose over here, let's say you are having, you are creating a website, right? And your website name is www.xyz.com. This is your website, right? Now as soon as you're going towards this website, you will going to get a different section, let's say about us, contact us, and all that. As you will going to click on about us, you will going to find out the endpoints change. The endpoint will going to change to something like this, about us, right? And for another page, let's suppose you want to access the contact us page. So in that, if you are going to access the contact us page, the URL or the endpoint for contact us page will be like this. Yes or no? I've already told you we are not going to talk about how to install the VS Code on your system because it will going to consume a lot of time, right? In order to do so, just go on to Google, search for VS Code, and over here click on the first link. Okay, if it's your Windows, then download for Windows. Currently it's my Mac, so it is showing the session for Mac. If it is your Windows, then you can download for Windows, and so on and so forth. Okay, like this you can install this VS Code. Okay, so you guys have seen this pattern, yes or no? Have you guys seen this pattern, yes or no? For different pages, the endpoint will be different. Yes or no? Yes or no? Is this clear? Perfect. So now we are saying, because since our development server, whenever we are going to run a development server, it will going to run on localhost. So we are saying that whenever someone will going to have this slash, whenever we are going to have a URL, this is known as the entire URL. And after this URL, if you are having slash, what page do you want to show? What page do you want to show? So over here, we are going to use render function that we have imported from here, render template. That's it, right? Now what we want to do is, if someone try to access this endpoint, then show them a web page, show them an HTML page, right? And over here we need to create, and we have to write the name of the HTML page, right? So currently if you see, we don't have any HTML file. Over here we don't have any HTML file, right? So we need to create an HTML file, that is a front end. So in order to do so, first of all, we need to create a folder. We need to create a folder known as template folder. Okay, all the HTML file will going to go towards the template folder. Okay, so now inside this template folder, I'm going to create an HTML file called as index.html, like this. Now see, over here we are having our HTML file. Is this clear? Is this clear? Is this clear, guys? Yes or no? Perfect. Now over here you need to mention the HTML file. That means whenever someone try to access this endpoint, automatically this HTML file will be shown to them. Okay. Now over here I'm going to declare index.html. Okay. This is how I can say index.html, that as soon as you're going to run this, kindly show this index to HTML over here. So now let me show you a demo. Let me run the server. So this is how you can run the Flask server. Python and then the name of your file. Currently the name of my file is main. So I'm writing over here main.py. Okay. So now as soon as you're going to run the server, it will going to give you a local ID. It will going to give you a local ID that is known as your local host. Okay. And it will going to run your development server on local host 500. So sorry, 5000. So 5000 over here will going to act as a port. Are you guys getting this or not? Yes or no? Are you guys getting this or not? Yes or no? Are you guys getting this? Yes or no? Come on, give me a confirmation, please. Cool. Okay, so in order to run the server over here, you need to define this parameter. It is known as if underscore. Let me write this. If underscore name is equals to main, then run the app and debug equals to true. So over here we are telling it that whenever you are going to run this main.file, if your current file is your main file, then the app over here, the app is the instant of this Flask class. Try to run this app, and over here when we say debug equals to true, equals to true means if we face any issue, it will going to show up in the console or the terminal. If you set this as false, then what will going to happen? Any error that will going to occur, it will not going to show up over here. So we are going to let it be debug equals to true. So if I'm going to run it now, so now when over here you can see now when I run the command python main.py, my server has ran, and you can see over here it says that it is running on this port. It is running on this port, that is your 5000. So if I go on over here, paste this and 5000, you can see over here it says template not found. Currently the template, it doesn't able to find out the template. So what we are going to do is come up over here to our template that we are having this currently index.html file. Let's go to the HTML file. Sorry, it will be template underscore index.file. Sorry, it will be template hyphen, because it is inside the template, right? It is inside the template. Now let me save this. Perfect. So now if you're going to try to access this, why it is showing this, let me copy the relative path, paste this over here. Now it should work. Okay, let's see this. Perfect. Now over here you need to define the index file. You need to define your HTML. Okay, over here, let me do this. Now over here you need to define your HTML file. So now if you're using VS Code, just try to add an exclamation mark. As soon as you're putting an exclamation mark over here, click on this. So you will be getting a plenty of code being written already, a boilerplate. This is known as a boilerplate, right? So over here you can see, you can give a title of a document. You can write over here, let's say, let me declare a tag as h1 tag. hello world. Okay, so let me save this. Let me rerun the server. Perfect. Okay, so this is our file. This is a template file. Okay, it should not be template. It should be templates. It should be templates. Okay. Now in HTML file, let's go to main. It should be templates. Perfect. So now if we try to access this page, uh, okay, it's restarting. Let's wait. Let it restart. Come on, come on, come on. Okay, let me try it again. Why it is not working? Templates.index. Just give us a yeah. Now you can see it's working, right? Now over here you can see whenever we are telling that is if there is nothing, if there is nothing, right? If this is our particular URL, if you don't have any kind of endpoint, then kindly render this HTML file. In this HTML file, if you see over here, in this HTML file, I have written hello world, right? So if you come up over here, you can see hello world has been written. So it is directly, as soon as it detects that none of the endpoint has been given, it will going to redirect us to this page that is known as hello world. Is this clear? Is this clear? Yes or no? Till here, is this clear? Yes or no? Till here, is this clear? Yes or no? Okay, perfect. So now over here, this is how you can do this. Now if you see, you can change the title as well. Title over here means you can see over here the title has been given as document. Over here you can see it is written document, right? So if you see over here, it's written DevTown, temp, it's personal and Heroku. If you want to provide a title, just provide over here your title. Let's say machine, not machine, let's say Flask deployment. Flask app. Okay, so let's run this, save. Now as I have refreshed, now you can see that title has been changed to Flash app. Is this clear? Is this clear? Is this clear, everyone? Yes or no? Perfect. This is the initial page. This is the initial page. Now what we are going to do is, we know that we need to predict our values. We need to predict our values, right? So what we are going to do is, we are going to create a front end in this a way, in such a way that we are going to have a text field. In this text field, we are going to ask the user to give us the temperature. We are going to ask the user to give us the temperature, and then we are going to create a button as well. Okay, as soon as the user will going to click on this button, right, we are going to take this value and we're going to feed this value to our machine, and the result that our machine will going to provide, we are going to provide it over here. Are you guys get? Please don't ask for attendance. Please don't ask for attendance right now. Okay, is this clear? Is this clear? No, you don't need to have a monster PC for this. No. 8 GB of RAM is perfectly fine, or you can work with 4 GB as well, but 8 GB is recommended. Okay. Now, let's come up over here. So, I'm going to create, instead of writing this, I am using form. I will be using form. Okay. Let me use form. Form. In this form, I am going to first create an input section, right? So over here, I'm going to use the input tag. Not entirely this one. So we have this input tag. We are going to set the type as text. name as, let's say, temperature. Okay, then you have a placeholder as well. So in this placeholder, I'm going to write over here, enter temperature, enter temperature, like this, right? And let me close this input. Okay, so now let me show you how exactly it looks like. Now you can see a text box over here. Now can you see over here a text box? Okay, so over here you can see we are having a text box. Now we are going to, the user will going to give input over here, let's say 78, 789, and so on and so forth. Now what will going to happen, if you see, I have already placed a placeholder, so we are going to tell the user that you have to enter the temperature over here. So this is how you define a placeholder, right? Now we need a button as well. We need a button as well, a submit button. That means as soon as the user is going to click on this submit, we are going to take the input, right? So we are going to define a button after this input. So we are going to say button tag. Okay, so in this button tag, we are going to set the type as submit, and we are going to name, not, we are not going to use the name, type, right? And we are going to use button, not button, let's say submit. And then we are going to close this tag. Perfect. Now, if I refresh this, now you can see a submit button. Yes or no? Title has been changed. See, title has been changed. Okay. Title has been changed. Over here, this is the text box. Now, as soon as the user will going to give you the temperature, and as soon as they will going to click on this submit button, we are going to take this data from front end to our back end. So we have to take the data from here to here. This is your front end. This HTML is your front end, and this is your back end, right? So in order to do so, we are going to provide an action. So in this form tag itself, we are going to use action. So what action do you want to perform? And then we are going to have a method, action and method. The method will be your post method. Okay, so in whenever you are working with web development, so there are different kinds of method. You can use different kinds. There are different kinds of methods, such as get method, post method, delete method, update method, and so on and so forth, right? So post method is the method in which the data transfers or data travels through the web server. Okay, and get method is to get something. Okay, in this case our data will going to travel from front end to back end, so we are going to use a method post. Now we have to provide the action that for which URL, you will going to show the prediction. So we are going to provide over here. Okay, so over here I'm going to use a function. The function name is URL underscore for. Okay, we are going to use URL underscore for, and now you need to provide another endpoint. You need to provide another endpoint. Now if I say predict, guys, title has been changed. See, title has been changed over here. It is Flask app, and currently I have written Flask app. Title has been changed. Okay, so now what I'm telling is that as soon as someone will going to give you a data, you have to take this data and you have to transfer it to the URL that is having the predict in the end. That means the endpoint is your predict. Is this clear? Is this clear? Right? Now we have to create another function. We are going to create another function for the endpoint as predict. So again the same thing, app.route, right? Over here I have to provide the endpoint that is your predict, and you can see method is equals to post, right? So I'm going to write one more method over here as get method, so that we can get the same URL as well, sorry, same page as well. Now I'm going to create about one function known as predict. Okay, I'm going to create a function known as predict. Now what will going to happen is I'm going to try to get the data from the user. I want to try to get the data from the user. So I'm going to create a function known as prediction. is equals to model, the model that I have initialized over here, you can see. So from here I'm going to use model.predict, and now I'm going to give the user value. Okay, now I'm going to give the user value, the user. So I have to take it from front end. So in order to take the value from front end, I will be using the request function. Okay, so over here I'm going to define request dot form, because that was a form, and then the get request, right? And what do we want to get? We want to get the temperature. We want to get the temperature, right? We want to get the temperature over here. Okay, is this clear? So now this prediction will going to give us a value. Now this prediction will going to give us a value. Over here we have seen that the prediction, when the prediction gives us the value, it is a form of an array, right? So what we're going to do is we are going to take only the value. We are not going to print it like this. We are going to take the value, and we are going over here. You can see after decimal point, it is having multiple points, multiple numbers, right? So we are going to say that after decimal point, you can have only 2 decimal point. Okay, this value can have only 2 decimal point. So I'm going to say the output that we are going to get, is your round function. Over here we are going to rounding off the prediction value. So let me write prediction, right? And then 0, and then 2. This 0 means that we don't want the answer in array form. We want a particular value. So we are getting the output like this. Now what happened is, now I want to show this output. Now I want to show this output in the front end. Now I want to show this output over here, right? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to copy this same thing. Let me copy this and paste this. Return render file, because, and the file name remain the same because I want it to be printed over here, right? But now I want to send this data. Now this data is in backend. I will have to send this data to front end. So now in front end, if we get to front end, now I have to create a section where I will be taking the data. So I'm going to say h3 tag. Okay, in this h3 tag, I am going to make this as bold. Okay, now I'm going to declare a variable known as prediction underscore text. Okay, now we are having a prediction underscore text. That means now you just take this output. Now the whatsoever output you have generated in your backend, take this output and send this to front end to this variable that is known as prediction underscore text, right? So now what we're going to say over here in the render template, we are going to perform a comma. Now we're going to say the variable prediction underscore text. The variable prediction underscore text is equal to, I'm going to use the f string. So now let's say, let me write a message, total revenue generated is. Now I have to provide the output. So let me provide the output in this format. This is known as, this is the f string. Okay, this is the f string. So I'm going to write output and slash n. Now many people are getting confused at what exactly it is happening over here, how it exactly it will going to work out. Now if I show you, now let me run the server. Now if I run the server, now see what we are going to get in the application. Now see, let me copy this. Perfect. So now this is how my application looks like. Now if I say temperature is 334, let's say, as soon as I'm going to click on this submit button, now see, as soon as I've clicked on my submit button, automatically we are getting the output on the same screen. And if you see over here, let me change this back to slash. Now see, currently the endpoint, we don't have any endpoint, so we are getting this. As soon as I'm going to hit 34, let's say 34, as soon as I'm going to hit the submit button, see the endpoint we're going to change. Now see, as soon as I've clicked on submit button, endpoint has been changed to predict, and we are getting our data, or we are getting a result. That means the total revenue generated is 773.86. Is this clear to everyone? Is this clear to everyone? Yes or no? Is this clear to everyone? Yes or no? Okay. Now, one thing is that if suppose over here we know we have to provide a number. right? If suppose someone will going to come up and says hello, now this is an invalid output. This is an invalid output. So if I'm going to click on submit, now see, we are getting an error. We are getting an error because hello is an invalid output. So what we are going to do is we are going to use the error, we are going to use the exception handling. So we are going to say try, we are going to use the try except block. So we have this try, and in the except, let me write over here, in the except part, I am going to return the same thing. Return render the template same, but now over here I am going to return a text. I am going to return that something went wrong. That means it is invalid. So now what will happen is that if I went again, if I go again to the same page, it is okay. Let me run the server again. Okay, so now if I go over here again, now if someone comes up over here and write, some filthy data, let's suppose hello, and we know that machine learning only want the numerical data, they don't want this string. But now earlier we have seen as soon as if we are passing this hello, we are getting an error. Okay, now we have used a try and except block, so that now if someone, even though they provide an invalid input, so now if someone will going to click on the submit, now see, it is not giving us any error. It is just printing a message that something went wrong, or kindly change your input or your invalid input, right? Let me change this to invalid input. Is this clear? Is this clear, everyone? Yes or no? Is this clear, everyone? Yes or no? You cannot use if and else. Try and except or the exception handling. If and else cannot use the exception handling. Okay. Perfect. So this is our final application that is working. This is our final application. If I say 78 over here, now see, we are getting total revenue generated is this. If I say 1, so the total revenue is 65.78. So this is a short application that we have created. Now our application development is done. This is how you can use Flask for the application development. Now the situation comes up with that this URL, this is a local URL that has been assigned to me. If you go on and search on your computer, this will not going to be the application that will be shown to you. Yes or no? So this is on your local environment. I want to make it global so that you guys can also, if you guys can also go to this website, you can easily access this, right? So now we are going to see how to deploy this on cloud. Till here, is this clear? Yes or no? Till here, is this clear to everyone? Yes or no? Okay. So you have different cloud services. You have Amazon cloud services. You have GCP that is powered by Google. Then you have Azure and anything, but they will going to cost you amount, right? So what we're going to do is we are going to use the free cloud services. That is, either you can go with Heroku or you can go with Python anywhere. So in this case, we are going to go to Heroku. Okay, we are going to use Heroku platform. So what you need to do is you need to write Heroku. First of all, you need to download the CLI. First of all, you have to download the Heroku CLI, right? As soon as your Heroku CLI has been downloaded on this system, then you have to go on to your Heroku website and create an account. When your account is been created, it will going to show you like this. Okay, I'm not going to tell you how to create an account and all that. That's a very basic task. You can go ahead and you can do that as well. Okay, now we are going to click on this button that is known as create a new app. Okay, let's click on create a new app. Now you have to give the name of your application. That what will be your session has expired. Let me provide this. Oh, why it is showing this? Couldn't find a user. Let me sign this up. Let me confirm. invitation is perhaps you already use it. Okay, let's go back. Let me copy this and create an account. Let's say Flask, deploy, email, Flask, your role, and your language. That is a Python. Click on this. I'm not a robo, and click on let me use this. Create a free account. A user with that name already exists. Okay, let me log in. Okay, why it is showing me login? Let me go forget password. In the meantime, you guys can also create your Heroku account, and let's go and reset the password. Perfect. So let's try to log in. Why it is showing me this issue? Let me check this once. Okay, let's create an account. Let me go with temporary email. Okay, let's take this email and create an account. Sign up. Flask, deploy, provide the email address. Flask, role as professional developer. Select the language as Python. I'm not a bot, and create an account. Okay, let's choose another temporary account. Perfect. So okay, let's refresh. Okay, let's provide the password. Okay, so we have created a Heroku account. Okay, so this is how you're going to create a Heroku free account. Now let's move on and accept the terms and condition. And this is a page that will be going to show to you. Is this clear? Is this clear? Yes or no? Perfect. Now click on this create a new application. Now give your application a name. Let's say in our case, we are going to go with Flask app. And we are going to say the way it says that the application name has already been taken. So let me try with another name. Let's see. It has already been taken. Let's say Flask deploy temp. Perfect. So this application name is available for us, right? So we are going to click on this create app. So an application has been created, right? Now what you need to do is, first of all, I've already told you, you need to create a free account, right? After that, you need to install Heroku CLI on your system, right? You have to install Heroku CLI on your system. Is this clear? Right? So let me delete this. This is our app. This. Perfect. So this is how a system will going to look like. Is this clear? Now you have to prepare your code for the deployment. That means you have to throw or you have to send your code from your local to the Heroku server. Now you have to send your code to your Heroku server. Perfect. So let me clear. Now there are certain applications, certain files that you guys need to have. Okay. So first of all, you guys need to install a package known as GUnicorn. You have to install a package known as a GUnicorn. So let's run this. Pip install GUnicorn. So we are having GUnicorn installed, right? Now you have to create a requirement file so that whenever you are pushing your code, whenever you are pushing your code from local to the Heroku server, Heroku will going to get a requirement file as a documentation so that what all packages you have used, so that it will going to run, install that as well, and then it will going to try to run your file. Is this clear? Is this clear? Yes or no? So what we are going to do, we are going to use pip freeze greater than requirements.txt. Now let's run. Now as soon as I've clicked on this command, you can see over here a requirement.txt file has been created. A requirement.txt file has been created, right? If I open this, you can see over here all the packages and libraries and frameworks that we have installed. It's being showing up over here along with the version. Okay, this is one file that you need to know. Okay, another thing is that you need to create a file known as a proc file. You need to create a file known as a proc file. So I'm going to create a file, touch proc file. Over here you can see I've created a proc file, right? Now in this proc file you need to write a command known as web : okay, then you need to provide a server, that is your GUnicorn. Okay, after that you need to provide main app. So this main app means the name of that particular file that you want to run it at first. We want to run this file. We want to run our main file, right? And this main file is the first file that we want to run. So that's why I've placed main and then this app. This is the line that you have to write on your proc file. Replace this name with the name that you have created your backend with, right? So when you are done till here, now what you need to do is you need to go onto your terminal. Let me go over here. Now you need the command that git init. You have to initialize git, okay, because you have to push your code from your local to the Heroku server. So you are going to use the command git init like this. Then the next command is Heroku login. You need to log into your Heroku, and this could only be happen if you are having Heroku CLI installed on your system. Okay, so let me click on this Heroku login. So now it will going to redirect you to a website. Let's say, oh sorry, let's say R. Okay, now it will going to redirect you to the Heroku login page. Okay, over here you can see it is redirecting us to the login page. I'm going to click on this login. Please run Heroku login. Try again. Let me do this. Heroku login. Login. Over here you can see it is now logged in. Over here you can see it is now logged in. Let me do this. Let me clear the cookie first. Done. Let me show you. So you need to provide this Heroku login. So as soon as you're going to click on this Heroku login, what will going to happen is it will going to redirect you to the browser and it will going to tell you to kindly log in to that particular credentials. So let me click on this login. Now the email and the password that you guys have created an account with. So over here we have created an account with this email. So let me write the email over here and the password. login. Okay, so now let me click on later. Now see, it shows login as. Now if I'm going to come up over here, you can see logged in as this email. This is the email that from which I have logged in, right? Now after login, now after you are logged in, you have installed your GUnicorn, you have created a proc file, you have created a requirement file, right? So now you have to come up over here to your app dashboard. So over here you can see this command: git Heroku git remote a Flask deploy app temp, right? Just copy this, just copy this, come up over here and paste this, right? And run this command. Okay, so now this command has been run, right? Now what you need to do is run each command that has been given to you. Git add, right? Git add, then this is git commit. So we are going to write git commit and we are going to make it as initial commit. Initial commit. Okay, now you have to push. As soon as you're going to hit this push, that means your code will going to get from your local to your particular Heroku server. Okay, so now let's run this. Now this process will going to take approximately 10 to 15 minutes, right? Because all of our files is getting from our local to your Heroku server, and each documentation is getting run on. Each documentation is getting on and on and on, and each requirement is getting installed. If you have any issue, it will going to provide it over here the issue, right? And this process will going to take approximately 10 to 15 minutes. If you have any doubt, kindly ask. Do you have any doubt? Yes or no? Any more doubts? Guys, kindly don't ask for attendance. Kindly focus on the session, please. Right? Certificate will not going to give you much weightage if you don't have the skill knowledge. Any more doubts? On the last day, I will be giving you the data set. Don't worry. Okay. In the meantime, our deployment is going on. Let me go through our website. That is our devtown.in. Okay, so you can check out this website. We have a lot of courses. Okay, if you want to learn JavaScript, Java, C++ from beginners and all that, we have the courses over here. You can learn over here. We have 28 videos for Java and 24 videos for C++. Okay, then if you go on, we have we have a lot of courses from our end, right? We have an entire full package of data science. We have an entire full package of full stack development, right? And the instructor that will going to teach you are from these companies. Okay, they are from very prestigious company, right? These are some of the benefits that why you need to learn, because you will be getting first of all one-on-one mentorship with our particular mentor. Then we have a huge student community over on the Discord, on Telegram and WhatsApp as well. Then you will be getting the live lectures. Okay, it is not like that we are going to provide you the recorded lectures. It will be your live lectures and you can ask your doubt live. So these are some of the testimonials from our graduates, right, who are working at different organization, right, after having this course. Then these are some of the figures that really matters for us, right? And these are some of the upcoming boot camps that if you want to register, you can register for this boot camp as well, right? And these are the two main courses that we currently have in our store. That is known as your full stack web development, and another is your data science. If you're interested in data science, you can check out a data science course. Over here in this data science course, we are going to discuss everything about to be a data scientist. We are going to talk about a lot of technologies in this entire, and this course is of 3 months, right? In these 3 months you will be going to have an experience of doing a lot of projects. Okay, and the best thing about this course is that you don't require anything. You don't require any such knowledge. Okay, if you say that I don't know coding, I'm not from BTech field, I'm not from technical field, it doesn't matter. We are going to start from very scratch level. We are going to start from the very scratch level, and then we are going to go ahead and understanding how exactly the different technologies works in the data science field, right? So these are some of our instructors who are from a very well-known companies who will going to be assisting you in this entire courses. Okay, apart from that, if I have to give you a glimpse about this course, first of all, you will be having the live classes and live doubt session. Okay, you will be having the live classes, you will be having the live doubt session. That means 2 hours it will be your classes, and after that, if you face any doubt, you can easily ask the instructor and your doubt will going to get resolved at the same point of time. After that, we are providing you some complementary courses as well. That means if you are opting for data science course, right? So in the same manner, we are going to provide you the DSA playlist, cyber security playlist, and full stack development playlist absolutely free of cost. Okay. If you're opting for full stack development course, then we are going to provide you DSA course, cyber security course, and data science course at free of cost. These are the three courses that you will be getting as a complimentary course. Okay, and over here, this is our syllabus. Over here, this is our syllabus. So you can check our syllabus as well. That in DSA and algorithm, these all topics will be getting covered, right? Apart from that, you will be getting an experience, a real world industrial level projects that you are going to do, and you will going to get a real world experience. You will be getting a mentor support and doubt clearing session, and as well as the career counseling session, in which we are going to discuss about how to create a resume, how to create LinkedIn, how to answer various interview questions, and how to perform Git and GitHub, right? Then after that, we are going to start with Python. We are going to start with the understanding of Python. We are going to go very deep in Python. We are going to understand each concept about the Python programming language, and we are going to start from the scratch. After that, we are going to learn about data analysis. We are going to talk about the statistics, because I already told you for machine learning, statistics plays a very vital role, right? So if you know mathematics, if you know statistics, then only you can move on to the machine learning model, because you need to understand how exactly the model works, how exactly equation what equation you have used for to declare this model, and how you can enhance that model by adding some more features to that. We are going to talk about that. Then we are going to talk about the database as well. We are going to learn about SQL, MySQL. We're going to talk about the difference between the databases and how to operate databases, because when we talk about the data science field, data plays a very vital role. Data plays very vital role, right? And the data can store and then come from databases. So we're going to understand about databases and so on and so forth. After that, there's some process about data wrangling. That means whenever we provide a data, it's always a raw data. Okay, so how to clean those data, and what are the different sources that we can grab the data from. We are going to teach you that as well. We are going to make you understand that as well. And then we're going to talk about machine learning. So over here, you can see in this session, we have already talk about a linear regression. That is a simple linear regression. However, in this entire course, we are going to talk about these many models and algorithms. Now see, we are going to talk about these many algorithms in machine learning. Is this clear? Oh, currently we have taught about simple linear regression, right? We have talked about simple linear regression, but in this course, we are going to talk about these many algorithms and all that. And we're going to understand how the companies like Amazon and Flipkart and different other companies uses data analysis, how they uses these algorithms to utilize and generate profit and generate money. Right? We're going to talk about that as well. Okay. Then we are going to talk about deep learning as well. If you must have heard about Tesla cars, right? Tesla cars uses deep learning, right? If you have heard about Google Assistant, Siri, or you have heard about Alexa, how they have been created, and so on and so forward, right? So these are some of the algorithms that we are going to touch. We are going to talk about ANN, we are going to talk about CNN, RNN, we're going to talk about NLP, autoencoders, and GAN, right? And this is not only case that this about this, these are the industrial product that you will be going to create. Okay, these are some of the industrial product that has been marked over here, so you can check this out as well. The technologies that you are going to get hands on and masters on, it will be your GitHub, Python, Anaconda, Beautiful Soup, C++, Jupyter, Matplotlib, MongoDB, Stats, NumPy, Pandas, and Seaborn, and many others as well, right? Now these are some of the batches. So August 15 has already been taken, right? So currently the current batch that we're going to start is from September 1st. If you're interested, you guys can enroll in this session. The benefit of taking this session is mentioned over here, that you will be getting the live support. You will be getting a lot of major project. Okay, we are going to create a lot of major project as well. Apart from that, it is an internship. It will be an internship. The certificate and letter of recommendation that will be given to you will be regarding your internship. Okay, that will be your internship. Then after that, you will be getting your live out session, and after that you will be getting a career counseling session where we will be discussing about the how to create your resume, how to perform our LinkedIn profiling, how exactly you can create application. How over here you can see where while pushing the code from our local to your server, we were using Git, right? So we're going to understand about Git and GitHub as well, and we're going to tackle some of the interview questions that oftenly been asked in interviews, right? So these are some of the benefit of this class, right? And these are some of the certificates that you will be getting. There are some frequently asked questions. If you have any doubt, you can reach out to our team. They will definitely going to help you out in this manner. Okay, so this is for the data scientist program. This is for the data scientist program. You can download the syllabus from here and you can see any kind of part as well. And not only this, after completion, if you're really doing well in this internship, we will be providing you an internship. We are going to provide you an opportunity to work with us. We are going to provide you an opportunity to work with different companies. We are tied up with different other company. After taking this session, okay, after taking this entire 3-month courses, you will be having an internship in hand as well. Okay, so you can write this, you can mention this on a resume that you do have experience with that. It will going to make a more weighted and going to make more sense, right? If you are more interested in creating web application and all that, you can check out our full stack web development training course. Let me provide the link. If you're interested, you can go out and check this as well. So let me provide this. Okay, so this is your data science course. If you're interested in attending, so you can go ahead and do so. Okay, let's see. Okay, it's perfect. So our code has been pushed. Our code has been pushed to our server. So let's come up over here and we have this option open app, right? So let me open this app. Now this is our application. Let me share this link to all of you so that you guys can verify whether it is working on your system as well or not. Now see this. Everyone kindly go on and open this application on your either on your mobile phone or a web application, and give me a confirmation that can everyone open this, can everyone access this application on their system or not? Yes or no? Can everyone access the system on, yes or no? Right? So over here now see, earlier it was on my local, so only I can work on this, right? But if I want to make it global so that everyone around the world can use and access my application and go forth, so this is how I can do that. And let's test this out. So currently if you see, we don't have any endpoint over here. If I say 78 and submit, we are getting a response, and over here this is how our endpoint works. So this is how you can create this. So instead of writing or presenting your code to the interviewer, if you are presenting this live application, that this is a live application that I have created, so what will going to happen, that interviewer will going to go and they will going to interact with your application, will going to understand, because nobody is interested in reading the code. If you tell the interviewer that I have created this application, this is the code, they will not going to read that, right? But instead, if you are going to show them this application, it will going to make more weightage, more sense that this is a live project. You can consider this as a machine learning project. You can consider this as a data science project, right? So currently we don't have that much time, so we haven't worked on the UI that much, right? So that's why we have created a simple text box and button, and that's how we can go ahead with doing that. Is this clear? Is this clear? Yes or no? Is this clear? Okay, so either you can use Heroku for free services, or you can go ahead and use your Python Anywhere for free services. You can see that Heroku app is being declared over here. So in order to remove this, you have to give some amount, right? But we don't want, because this is not creating any issue. We wanted it to be, and this is absolutely free of cost. You are not paying a single penny for this. Is this clear? Any doubt? Any doubt so far? Is this clear, everyone? Yes or no? Okay. So that's the wrap of this entire bootcamp. So this is how you create an application using Flask, and then you have to push all your materials from your local to the web server. We have understood that as well. And even though Heroku tells you about all the commands, you don't need to learn all the commands or write it anywhere. Heroku platform will going to tell you how exactly you have to log in, and after login what you have to do, and so on and so forth. Okay, perfect. So here you go with your attendance. This is what most people are worrying about, so take this. See, proc file is the file that tells the Heroku. It's a Heroku requirement, right? Whenever you are sending this to Heroku, if you see the icon of Heroku has been created, proc file we're going to give. It's a setting file for Heroku. It tells the Heroku that which file do you want me to run first. Which file do you want me to run first? So while running this application, I was using the command python main.py, if you remember, right? So I have to tell the Heroku that you need to run main file. So this is just a setting file that tells Heroku which file you need to run. Is this clear? Is this clear? Any doubt, guys? Attendance link has already been shared to you. Kindly go on and mark your attendance for day 6. Okay, perfect. So tomorrow I will be giving you your task, your project. I will be sharing a data set with you, and based on that data set, you have to perform, you have to create an application, and you have to host it live, right? So only those people who hosted live will going to get the certificate. Okay. See, Flask and Django, they both are best, but only the requirement is different. If you are working with a very small project, then you have to go with Flask. If you're working with an enterprise project or very large project, then you have to go with Django. Okay, you cannot compare Flask and Django. You cannot compare these two frameworks. The requirements or the scenario will going to decide. Is this clear? Perfect. So let me put the attendance link once again. Timeline to upload a project will be 1 week after tomorrow. Like that means tomorrow I'll be sharing you the project. So the next Saturday, till next Saturday, you will going to have the time to submit the project. You can find out the videos from 1 to 7 on YouTube in our channel itself. Okay. Is this clear? Any more doubts? See, since we don't have that much time, because this is a 1 hour bootcamp, right? So we have to rush. We have to rush, and we have to go on and on and on, right? And we have to pace up the speed. Okay, that's why it might happen. Some of you might not have got what I have taught today, so that you can, you can go ahead and watch the recap. So that will be really helpful for you. Is this clear? Is this clear? Yes or no? In what platform we'll be doing the project? It's totally depend upon you. It's totally depend upon you in what platform you want to do your project. Okay, it's totally depend upon you. Notes and resources will be shared with you on the last day. It will be shared with you on the last day. Notes will be shared with you on the last day. Is this clear or not? Come on. What thing learn from outside the project? There are a lot of things to learn. You can learn different things. You can learn about different models, machine learning models, deep learning models. You can learn about different frameworks. You can learn about HTML, how to beautify the front end, and so on and so forth. You can do that as well. So will the process be same on Heroku if we have a database and static media file? So for the static files or media files, you have to create a different folder. For the database, you have to create a database file, but the process will remain be the same. Okay, is this clear? Perfect. Any more doubt, guys? Any more doubts? Come on. In other platform, we don't need proc file. See, for other platform, they have other requirements, right? For other platform, if you are going with Python anywhere or AWS, they have other requirements. But this is with respect to the Heroku. For Heroku, you need a proc file. That's a setting file for Heroku. Face recognition comes under which category? It comes under CNN. It comes under deep learning and in CNN. Okay. Yes, you will be getting discount on the course as well. Just reach out to the team if you're interested. Reach out to the team. They will going to provide you all the scholarships and the discount pays that we currently have. Okay, so try to avail the offer. So for environment variable, you have to install the virtual env. You can install virtual env package from PyPy, that is pip install virtual env, and then you can create a virtual environment using the command virtual env and then the name of a virtual environment, and then try to activate that environment. Is this clear? Is this clear? See, time limit is similar for everyone, so it will be a week time. We cannot increase it or decrease it. It is just a week time. Okay, perfect. So I believe that that's all from this session. Thank you so much for joining in. Let's meet tomorrow. Tomorrow I will be telling you what you need to do. Okay, perfect. Awesome. So thank you so much for joining in. Enjoy your evening. Enjoy your weekend. See you all soon. Good night and bye bye. Thank you.